Raptors' six-game winning streak comes to an end as they fall to the Phoenix Suns 99-95. I'm Randy Urban, and this is Raptors Night Cap. Tonight we're joined by Leo Rautins, Jack Armstrong, and Paul Jones. Fellas, this was a great game. Jonesy, I'll start with you. Just briefly give us your reactions to this tough loss.
I think, Randy, for me, it's probably the most competitive game I've witnessed all season. It had playoff-like intensity. No team was giving anything, and they were playing through calls. That didn't mean they didn't ask for one or complain about one, but they understood the tenor of the game and how difficult it was going to be. Look, if you're the Raptors, you're a stop, a shot. It was that close. And I just thought Monty Williams did a good job at the end, not letting the Raptors get a three off. They were, the way they used the fouls at the end to prevent Toronto from getting a good look at a three. That may have been one of the deciding factors going down the stretch.
Jack, your reaction?
A few things. Number one, you don't have Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr. You're the 7th seed, and you're playing a team coming into this game tonight with the best record in the NBA, along with Golden State, team that was in the NBA Finals last year. And to me, and you're playing at home with no fans. So you put all that together, and I would say right now, if you're a Raptor fan, even in defeat, you got to feel pretty good about what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And, tagging what Jonesy said, this had a competitive playoff kind of feel tonight. And I like what I'm seeing from the Raptors, even in defeat. And, you not only do you have to play hard, but you got to play well. Mm-hmm. And they played hard enough, but there were some times they just unfortunately didn't play well enough. But I think when you add a little more skill back in the lineup, that well will be there. And to me, this was an incredibly fun game to watch and a fun game to call.
Leo, your reaction?
Yeah, just like everybody else. I mean, great effort. It really was. Think about it. I mean, Phoenix doesn't get to 100 points. They average 112. Part of the reason why the Raptors kept that transition down, they got 22 offensive rebounds. That's just hustle. That's just getting after it. That's great effort right there. I think it definitely hurt not having a couple of pieces in Barnes and Gary Trent Jr., no doubt about it. But the Raptors compensated, did the best they could. It was a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch. And as Jack said, if you're a Raptor fan, you know what? You're in a pretty good position right now. If you can just get bodies healthy and get playing, and you play with that kind of intensity and that kind of passion, you can win a lot of games the rest of the season.
Yeah, Jonesy, just specifically there, Raps were right there most of it. And, they had that lead with about a minute to go, 1 point. They just couldn't, they just came up short on a couple possessions there. How did things turn in the favor of the Suns in that fourth quarter?
Well, and I think you said it, Randy, it was just a matter of not being able to make shots. The defense like that has a cumulative effect. You'll get good looks, and there's just a little more pressure, a little less time. And that's what does it in the end. They don't let up. They don't let you get comfortable. And I'll say the same thing on the other side. The Raptors did the same thing. They were in them. They were into them. I mean, Devin Booker has a really tough night tonight. I thought the guy who played really well for them was DeAndre Ayton. Phoenix plays it old school. They don't just heave threes. I mean, they got some guys that can shoot them. Bridges, Crowder, and those are the guys they let shoot the three. The other guys take the mid-range, get the ball inside to the big guy, and it was really an old school kind of game tonight with that old school feel. And I think going down the stretch, it's a make or miss league, right? It's a play here, a play there, and you can go back and comb over the tape if you're the Raptors and find, one little thing. Was OG fouled on his last drive to the basket when they were down 3? If he gets that call, now he's got a chance for a 3-point play, and it's a tie game. And the fouling strategy doesn't quite work for Monty Williams and the Suns. So in a game like this, Randy, you'll comb over everything and things that will point towards improvement the next time you get in a game like this.
I think also, Joey, I think about the Raptors missed 10 free throws.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you're talking about a close game, and free throws matter. I mean, you get 10 free throws, you win this game, right? So, free throws are a big factor. But you mentioned Booker's tough night. It was so tough that the mascot, the Raptor, got in his head.
Yeah, what was that all about? You guys that are there, what was that all about?
I was right there. The mascot, the Raptor was right behind the basket, and Booker shot his first free throw and started complaining about the Raptor waving his arms, which he is perfectly allowed to do in any NBA game. And there also would be about 10,000 people right at that section behind him. But somehow that bothered Booker. And I was just cracking up. Like, you got to be kidding me. Even after he made the second one, he was still talking to the officials going, hey, did you see him doing that? Come on.
We laughed on the radio, Leo. We said 20,000 fans screaming at you is okay, but one mascot in an empty arena. Yeah.
He looked a bit sheepish on television, actually, because I think some of his teammates were clowning him a little bit after it. They thought it was kind of weak. But Jack, just the shots that they missed from three, I like the looks they got in that second quarter when they kind of went cold offensively. And in the fourth quarter, it was like 3 offensive rebound, 3 miss offensive rebound. And I felt like we were getting good looks.
Well, the Raptors took 14 more shots than their opponent tonight. What's the old line? Victory favors the team making the fewest mistakes. Victory favors the team getting the most shots, right? And to me, they won the turnover battle and they got more shots. They just couldn't win the game. Leo made the point about the free throw shooting. That was a huge issue. But I think they earned the opportunities, and they did. They generated a lot of good shots. But there's a difference, as we know. When a Yuta Watanabe is taking that shot and coming back, his first game back from COVID, versus maybe a Gary Trent Jr. taking that, And I think the one thing that they struggled with tonight, their effort on the offensive glass was great, but their putback success rate wasn't great. I mean, they missed a lot of shots when they got the second and third shot opportunity. So, again, you're going to get that grit and that hustle and that tenacity. On the other hand, what you get in that, sometimes you give up in skill, and you still got to have guys make putts.
Jonesy, Boucher was great. It's his birthday tonight, 13 and 16 on the night.
Yeah.
What are you noticing that's helping him turn the corner here of late?
I think he's stripped it down, Randy. He's gone back to what made him successful. What got Chris Boucher on this team? You and I were there in Summer League when Nick Nurse, all the tape recorders and pads got put away and pens, and he turned to us and he said, I like Boucher. He works hard. And I said, yeah, I do too. And Chris kind of got away from that. He fell in love with the three, and he stripped it down now. He is hustling after everything. He's running the floor. I mean, he had a block tonight. To me, he leads the league in that category, where I think the guy thinks he has an open three, and Chris closes the distance with his length and athleticism, and he blocks the shot. He had one of those late in the game that was big. And I think he's just gone back to, all right, I'm not going to worry as much about scoring, and in particular shooting the three. I'm going to do all the other stuff that'll keep me on the floor: rebound, play defense, hustle, and the other stuff will find itself. And I think that's what you're seeing with him right now.
Just one thing. I think if you're Nick Nurse, Dwayne Casey used to have a great line that you tell on yourself. And now, you can put together a whole highlight video for Chris Boucher if he ever goes back to, saying, hey, I'm just a perimeter shooter. I'm a finesse player. And when he's sitting watching the game rather than being out there playing, you can say, hold on a minute. This is the formula. That's what we want. And that's not the formula. So to me, I think Nick Nurse's sell job and the acceptance of it, knowing your role and more importantly, accepting it is the bigger one. And a lot of times there's conflict when you're a player and a coach in terms of seeing eye to eye on that, as we all know. But I give Chris a lot of credit. He sees the light, and he's going to see a lot of light if he keeps doing what he's doing.
Leo,
I tell you what. Yeah, sorry, Randy.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to see the light, if you want to make sure that you're getting the message. Well, who's been on the floor at the end of games? Chris Boucher. Okay, hey, say no more. If I keep doing that and I get to be on the floor to be at the end of games, I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Leo, let's talk a little bit about the Raptors' big three because they combined for 68 tonight. Fred was named Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Is Toronto's big three of VanVleet, Siakam, and Anunoby underrated?
You know what? I mean, okay, let's just say they're underrated. And why? How much have they played together, right? I mean, this is they've struggled. I mean, Siakam missed half the first half, and OG was out for a significant amount of time, and so how much time have they actually played together? You can still see that OG at times trying to figure out where he is with those two, right? Remember when Pascal was out, OG went on a stretch and he was rolling, putting up points. All of a sudden, he got real quiet when he comes back. When Pascal comes back, well, he's still got to figure out that there's times that he could still be a takeover guy, right? So I still think they're finding themselves. But yeah, there's a reason that people are underrating them, underestimating them. But they're the ones that can turn that completely around and have people take notice. And hey, I give Phoenix credit. I mean, that's the best anybody's played Fred. They made it very, very difficult for Fred in this game. And just the second half alone, their perimeter pressure was outstanding, and it bothered everybody.
Jonesy, last 20 seconds. This big three, though, this could be exciting here going forward.
Yes.
If they keep gelling like this.
Absolutely, Randy. Absolutely. I mean, you look at it. Phoenix is the best team in the NBA, and you take them down to the wire. And like we said off the start of the show here, that game had playoff intensity. And if the Raptors bottle this and play this hard, this consistently, they're a playoff team. They're at 7 now. They could easily rise to 6 or 5 because if they play like that, there's a lot of wins in the future.
Can I just make one quick point, Randy? Today is January 11th. The trade deadline, I think, is February 10th. It'll be interesting now. They start a stretch now, 16 of the next 22 on the road. But it'll be interesting to see what the Raptors decide to do in terms of their team, because they're pretty good. And right now they're right on the tails of Cleveland for the 6th seed, even Philly for the 5 seed. And it'll be interesting to see what they look like in terms of, are you a buyer? Are you a seller? Are you a holder? It'll be interesting. But I think they're opening up a lot of eyes. And when they're completely healthy, they're pretty good.
Real quick, we'll do a little overtime just with this one question. Leo, do you have a memorable moment coaching or playing on your birthday?
Yeah, memorable. Yeah. We lost to Ohio State my senior year in the NCAA tournament. And had we won, we would have played Michael Jordan and North Carolina in Syracuse in the Sweet 16.
Wow. Wow. It's hard to top that, but Jack, can you try?
Well, I can remember on my 30th birthday at Niagara, we beat Fairfield on the road at the buzzer. And it's the same day the Bills came back. I remember our film session before the game. We stopped the film session and watched the Buffalo Bills come back in the greatest comeback ever against the Houston Oilers on the same day, January 3rd. That would have been 1993. So that day stands out to me, but not as big as playing Ohio State like Leo.
Wow. Wow. Leo or Jonesy?
I got nothing, man. My birthday's in the middle of the summer.
Come on, there must have been a good
summer league in Vegas.
Yeah. If it comes to winning a pickup game and holding the court for an hour or so, yeah, I got that. But
I tell you what,
I got nothing to top those guys.
Knowing Jonesy, I'm sure on the golf course he made a big putt to win a lot of money.
There's been a few of those on my birthday. I don't know if they're giving them to me because it's my birthday, but I'm taking them anyway.
Take them.
All right, guys, awesome stuff. I got to stop you there. Next game for the Raptors, Friday night in Detroit against the Pistons, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We will see you then.